Well, fuck you, Craig, and welcome back to the 128th rendition of Cooped Up Conversations with Aaron, Joey, Prokop, and me, Cooper. Joining us today, an extremely special guest, an absolute legend of the game, a modern mystery man, an original supporter of the podcast. I'm trying to think of other cool things to lead into.
Sweet.
Now, an official three-peater, dude. He's whatever it is, podcast trifecta. Mr. Big Buck joining us. Thank you very much, Big Buck, for joining us. How are you?
Thanks for having me. What up? Pretty solid. Doing pretty well. How's everyone doing?
Dude, living it up, clearly, dude. Dude, you were working late, bro. Burning the midnight oil when I called you, bro?
Yeah, man, just out here doing God's work.
Dude, every day, man. Who doesn't bring a phone charger to work, though? That was a rookie move.
Yeah, I honestly, I was cleaning out my work bag and I was looking for something earlier, so I took my extra work charger out of the bag and I left it on my coffee table when I went back to work. So that's what happens.
Dude, I was a fucking mess today. I'm walking into the office and then I remember because I worked from home the other day, and I'm like, oh, I left my fucking computer charger at home. And then I was like, I sat down at my desk, I went to go print something, and then I went, oh, well, I didn't bring my fucking work ID today. Couldn't find my belt. I was an absolute fucking mess, and it's because I didn't take Adderall the last 2 days. I've been trying to not take it every day, but legitimately, dude, my brain will not function without it now. Small little details like that will just slip through the cracks. It's impossible. And I just get so fucking fatigued, man, because I don't like drinking coffee. I very rarely will drink coffee. At most, I'll probably have coffee once or twice a week. But God damn it,
Yeah.
The fucking filter fell out of the joint. But then I get so tired, and it's if I don't take Adderall, it hits me how long the fucking workday is, and I'm like, oh, this shit sucks.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, it takes, I don't know, my experience, it takes 2 weeks of not taking it to really kind of reset or recover, I guess, because you're just you're running on artificial energy, at least that's how I feel. So in the past, when I've stopped taking it, it's taken me probably about 2 weeks to kind of come back to baseline. But it really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm outside working in the summer, on the beach and stuff, I don't need it. But if I'm super busy I am right now, in the busy part of the season, then and I'm just handling a zillion things, the same thing happens to me. If I don't take it, then it's I'm not a desk guy. So
yeah, yeah, man, I'm just not built for a 9 to 5, bro. I'm built.
That's not what I was saying, but I can't.
No. I was fucking laughing because I told Prokop and Aaron and Joe about the meet and greet, and then that other fucking guy who I think was trying to impress Felly by being yeah, man, I just don't put my music out. I don't want anybody else to tell me how it is. And it's that's really great in the creative process, is completely eliminating others' opinions of it. That means your stuff is really good, I'm sure.
Yeah, I kind of got the vibe he was trying to low key plug himself, tee Felly up to be let me help you out or something, but not push it enough to make it seem he got VIP to pitch, to Felly essentially. But
Official pitch.
Yeah, I mean, also, in devil's advocate position, he was probably nervous too and shit like that, to some extent, meeting him. So there could be that, and that just threw off the way he was speaking. But I kind of got that low key vibe of, he was yeah, I'm an artist, I've been making music,
work isn't for me, man.
I forget, that sounds very generic, so don't quote me on that. There was much more conversation, and I can't remember exactly the verbiage he used, but yeah, no, I definitely got the vibe. Like he was trying to low key kind of like pitch Felly to be like, yeah, this is what I do, just to like tee Felly up to be like, oh, dude, like let me check out some of your shit. But that never happened, obviously. And I feel like
to be
if you meet
fair,
fans a lot-
after watching Felly's opener though, that guy might not have been much worse.
yeah, that's fair. You know, and like I said when we were at the show, like yeah, it was pretty bad. Like he had one or two songs that I was like, okay, like you know, like I kind of fucked with it. Like had a good beat and a good flow and stuff, but that's really it. I mean, I also
It was the fact he wasn't performing, dude. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like he was just marching around stage, playing his track, bro. It's like, bro, if you're an unknown artist, dude, you should be going out there and flopping your dick out, dude, and trying to be like the best performer possible to kind of draw people's attention. Because I like you said, dude, some of his songs were actually probably pretty good, but like I have like no interest in kind of listening to an underground like new artist if like that's how you're gonna go out there and fucking perform your shit, bro.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's important to note too, like that, like it didn't like change like or ruin like the like Felly's performance of the night at all. So like there's that
completely different thing.
And the dude does only have like it was like 3,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, so he's definitely still like, you know, he's an amateur, like he's brand new. So like good on Felly for like trying to put him on and shit and bringing him on tour.
3,000. That's pretty impressive though. 3,000.
Say again.
3,000 monthly listeners. I guess that's kind of like.
Is it though, dude?
Well, Felly has like 1.2.
Yeah, I know. It's like insane.
No, yeah, we look
and Felly's still very like I would say like not. I wouldn't call Felly well known. You know, I've only met a handful of people in my life that actually listen and know who Felly is. Obviously, there's more, right? Because the shows are packed. But you know, population density of Felly listeners is you know, not very dense, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. But
he's got more than Cousin Stiz. He's got a lot more than Cousin Stiz. Cousin Stiz been slacking.
Dude, I forgot he makes music. Also, dude, I hear you fucking puffing. Are you only puffing on the pen?
Yeah.
Dude,
no. That's
I haven't puffed on a dab card.
No. I still have a little bit left in the pen I got for the show.
But you're ripping a dab pen.
No, it's not a dab pen. This is the Crave. I still have
Crave
shit, but I got a little bit left in it from when I got it for the show.
Dude, so, I haven't ripped a cart. I haven't ripped a cart like that, bro. And you just reminded me of like why I don't fucking buy a cart, bro. Just because, like, dude, just being able to cruise down the road and rip it a little bit. Because, like, to be real, dude, cart highs are not like a normal high. It's just not. It's kind of like the PAX, the vaporizer, which I just fucking found in my car and it's like doesn't work anymore, which is devastating. But like those highs, dude, it's not like you're getting ripped. It's like a nicotine high, bro, where it's just like in your head for like 5-10 minutes and then it's kind of gone. I would be ripping a pen all day if I had it, bro. I'm so glad I don't. Dude, I used to just rip those things, dude. It's so fucking bad. I'd much rather fucking smoke pot at this point, but the problem with smoking pot, dude, is always smelling like. I wish you could like smoke a joint and just not smell like a joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get paranoid, dude, because like, you know, it's not. I don't have like this fucking massive wardrobe, right? So if, like I like, you know, the shit I like and I wear it when I want to wear it and shit. Like I don't really put too much thought into my outfits, but like. No, I mean, like, I do to some extent, like, if I'm dressing up, obviously, but if just my day-to-day life, like, jeans and, like, whatever, shirt, jacket, you know, combo I feel like wearing, but that's really the extent of it. But, like, wearing my vest that, like, I'll wear, like, a lot of my pieces cross over between work and just, like, my day-to-day life, because, like, obviously at work, I'm not going to wear super nice shit unless I have meetings, because I have to deal with, like, chemicals and stuff, and I've had, like, expensive clothes get ruined by like chlorine and shit, or like granulated chlorine, the powder shit and the liquid shit. So like I get paranoid if I, like, for example, the Felly concert when we were smoking a ton, we were absolutely fucking, I was so high, but like I get paranoid that like my clothes still smell even though we were like outside and shit, you know? So I'm just like, I don't know, I get paranoid of that shit. And it's happened to me before too, dude. I remember like back in the day. Maybe I shouldn't tell that story with that specifics, but it's happened before where I've been called on it and I was like, shit.
Dude, to be real though, dude, at this point, if as long as it's not like an incredibly inappropriate environment to smell like weed, I like rarely care. Like, it's because it's just like one of those things that it's like, if you're at a restaurant or something, unless it's like a nice restaurant, like if I go in a fucking Speedwell in Plymouth, like I don't give a shit if I smell like pot. Like, oh well. But it's like if you go to like even at work, man, like if I came in smelling like pot a little bit one day, I would just be like, oh, it must have been on my clothes from the night before. Like you can very visibly like not look high. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but it also heavily depends on like what company you work for, your company culture and stuff like that too. Like if you smelled like a little bit, like a little undertone, little under whiff of a little bit of marijuana on somebody, then it's like, all right, no big deal. But like, definitely don't want to be like, coming into work and then like smelling like I just hotboxed, my whip, smoking like 3 blunts.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
There's levels.
OG Rican.
Yes, don't want to be OG Rican.
Dude, Aaron, I'm gonna clip it and put it out for the podcast last week. But when you were trying to talk and were very audibly listening to FIFA and not being able to figure out what you wanted to say, it frustrated me more listening to it than it did in the moment, and I was incredibly frustrated. But I just need to clip your moments, Aaron, and we'd have like a 15-minute video of disrespect.
What's gonna make the podcast? So I'll continue.
Dude, I gotta clip the part too where Prokop's talking about how he's fucking gonna have a kid, and then you gave him like 15 seconds and then interrupted him to talk about the pipeline.
I started talking about it before, and
cause...
then you just interrupted me and started talking about Prokop. So I was like, I'm not getting interrupted here.
Only
because I knew like we wanted to end the
know.
podcast on that. So I was like, I should rather like say it now than like.
What'd you say, Prokop?
Don't put that out yet, because that only true listeners get to know. You have to listen.
Okay, well you can cut it. You got a week. You can cut it. But yeah, that almost should have been a Patreon release. Prokop. We should have saved that for the first episode and hyped it up and been like, oh my god, like big news dropping. Dude, I still feel bad because the day you told us, like, to be real, dude, like you're a goofy guy, so I didn't know if it was like a band bit. Because you very clearly, like, you dressed to look like a dad, right? That was the joke?
Yeah.
You guys look like you're in a pop punk band.
Yeah, like, I genuinely thought, like, that could have been your guys' like, EP cover. Like, I thought it might have been a joke. And that's why I'm like, dude, is that for real? And then before I even let you answer, I think, I said, like, you should abort it. And then you're like, oh, it's a real kid. And I'm like, oh, that's good. And then I doubled down on the abortion thing. Because I still will go to the grave saying, and I'm not saying abortion's good. Before anyone gets amped up, I'm going to preface the joke with this. But I would definitely get what your bit would be as someone in your... It would be a crazy dumb... You would get... To be real, that would be really good for the podcast if it ended up going on Fox News. Yeah, like almost being like a fucking way too deep of a bit, but like that's how we classify it. Is like you do the gender reveal like you did, and then you guys abort it. That would be fucking wild. Imagine here, like, dude, I could just imagine knowing that was coming on the news, right? But no one else did. And you're like sitting around all your family who would be watching Fox News, and that shit come on. Oh, dude. That would just be, if we look at how marketing has gone, I think that's what we really need to do if we want the podcast to blow up.
Oh my god.
I think you need to go extreme. We need to buy into some of these. Get people riled up.
This is
kind of like Bud Light.
Sick shit, Coop. This is some sick blue humor right now.
Cut it.
I've never heard you go this deep.
I'm not saying it'd be funny. It would definitely be fucked up. But as like a troll, That's like Eric Andre level troll.
Are you calling this that someone's going to do that? I hope to God not. But like,
I bet someone will. I bet you people have.
Probably.
I can tell you one thing. No idea is original. All right?
And we've documented it here, folks.
There's
It's insanity.
no way I'm the first person to A, think of that, or B, there's like, it's out of, you're telling me that's out, someone in Seattle has done that,
So,
right? Like, I'd bet money.
oh, you know,
I
who's
might
done
lose
this?
that bet, but someone might have done that.
This is like the craziness of social media. Megan gets like because she's pregnant, she gets social media like tailored to her, and then there's like drama going on with JoJo Siwa that she was faking a pregnancy to get like attention. So it's like she would never look that stuff up otherwise, but it gets pushed up for her, and it's like, oh my god, this is.
You know
they
what
can
all starts
tell.
going downhill for a woman is when their favorite like TikTok or Instagram Reels creator, who's like a quirky woman, you know, who they like, you know, like the girls find funny, and then she has a kid, and then it starts crumbling because they want to be just like their creator.
Yeah.
Is that
We probably could cut that joke. We could probably cut that whole little thing out if we wanted to. I'm not saying it even is funny, but I'm saying if you were an extreme liberal, that you might find that funny. I bet you would get 95% bad comments. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. Huh?
Comments are comments.
It's not even that. Comments are comments, but you will have somebody being like, this is fucking what Susan B. Anthony fought for, or something wild like that.
Oh my god.
Definitely maybe cut that. That was maybe the most ignorant thing I've said on the fucking podcast. But
It's your
I know
turn
Susan
to
B.
say
Anthony
something
wasn't a
actually ignorant.
Porsche.
Like, let's get ignorant for one scoop.
I mean, dude, I'm not even saying it would be funny.
I've
But
heard you
I'm
say
just-
that 10 times.
I know, but I need to. I'm trying to backtrack now, dude. I'm all paranoid
Double
about it.
down. Be a man. Double down.
Let's let him cook, boys.
I'll double down. Someone in San Francisco would also find that funny. But anyway, we'll move on. But you know what I had in my notes, by the way, that I really wish I elaborated on more? Because I do this to myself all the time. I'll just write a fucking, like, a phrase down. And then I'll be like, oh, I'll definitely remember that. I wrote down adaptable bears.
Is that a gay thing?
Is that just like, oh,
It
Is
might
that, like,
be.
Is that wait? Is that?
I
Do you
think I know what you're
adaptable
saying.
gaze means? I know exactly what it means. It means bear gaze at reverse.
Wow.
Huh?
What?
Maybe
Huh?
that's what I was
See what
looking
did
up.
there? That's pretty good. Made a new gay term.
I bet you it's already a term. But I'm assuming what I saw was like a video of a bear like using some sort of tool or something like that. I don't know. But I wish I knew what I was fucking talking about, dude.
I saw.
Because I'm sure that was. I don't normally write stuff down unless I have like a 2-minute conversation with myself about it. So I'm sure the conversation was fucking great. I wish everyone else knew what I would fucking meant with adaptable bears.
Did you see a bear playing a horn? I saw like so. I get so many bear TikToks.
It wouldn't be a bear playing a horn. I have seen a lot of videos, and it again, I'll go back to it. Like, I don't know why me calling bikers deranged gets taken down, but then I see this on TikTok. I've been watching like grizzly bears and like black bears like fuck up cubs, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck,
dude?
That is pretty fucked up.
Because and I call a fucking Australian kangaroo Jack, and I get fucking taken down from TikTok for 2 weeks. Like, let's be fucking real, dude. What's more fucking bad? Because I haven't gotten that image out of my head since. Seeing it was like a
the
black
Australians
bear.
haven't gotten that phrase out of their fucking head since. So like you see,
Probably not. But this black bear grabbed a cub by its head and like yossed the fucking thing, dude. And I was like, oh my god, crazy. But then,
Joe Rogan
I also
bear
get a
sound.
lot of safari stuff, which I think's kind of cool, but I have a real hard time watching like a fucking baby gazelle get like swatted by his fucking mom lion. And it's like, oh, like, why am I getting this? But then you're like, because like that's the thing. I look at that and I'm like, could I honestly get all the malaria shots and all that stupid shit, fly to fucking the Congo or wherever these safaris are, Nigeria, I'm sure is has a ton of them. But you're like watching these fucking things. I really would have a hard time watching a little fucking thing get torn apart by a lion, to be real. And I get like it's nature and blah blah blah, but like it's not something I kind of need to see in person. It's kind of like pit bull attacks, bro. I get those all the time too. It's fucking wild. So, like, dude, there was this one where it had the fucking golden retriever's leg and it wouldn't let go, and no one knew what to do. So they were like pulling the pit bull as the fucking golden retriever was lying there, dude. And the things like there's no clue what to. I guess they fucking saved it. So I don't know how they saved the fucking leg. I mean, it must have been shredded. It was like a 4-minute video. And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, what the fuck? Also, you got to choke them out, I learned. You got to like take their leash and you just got to basically almost kill the pit bull to get it off. That's the only way you get it off, is it like basically almost starts to pass out.
You should avoid at nature is metal on Instagram at all costs, if that is your contention.
Yeah.
I'm sure I get it. I get hours of it on TikTok some days. Like that's the only thing I'll get is fucking safari videos. And I can't get like I'll like quickly scroll by it because I like already know where the videos. The second you see a little gazelle and it's on the fucking safari and it's not like look at how fast this gazelle is, the caption, you immediately know that thing's getting fucked up. So it's like I just will try to scroll by it and then it's like, do you want to watch this fucking crocodile take down this fucking zebra? And I'm like, not really, dude.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I was a kid, dude, my dad told me this story from when he was a kid or a teenager or something, and he like I guess hopped like the fence at the zoo or some shit, and went into the ostrich enclosure, and I guess this fucking ostrich just like chased his ass around and fucking bit him in the ass and shit, and he was just like, yeah, that shit was like the most painful shit. It was like bruised forever.
Those things will fuck you up. That's why it's not. It's safaris like are insane to me because you're like in your little protective pods, but like
you're not even protected. Like a lot of them are open back, but they're like they won't.
Say that's my one zoo story.
What hit him in the ass?
An ostrich.
Yeah, dude, those things are fucking real deal, dude. Those are not small fucking things.
That's not small at all.
I love kangaroo videos, dude, because those things are evil. First off, bro, they have like little Hitler kangaroos that will fucking
they're like
drown
super rats,
but they're like so smart, bro. So they'll fucking like look like the craziest video I saw was this kangaroo standing like waist deep in the water, and I guess it's because they try to like lure things into the water thinking it needs help, and then they'll just fucking drown it.
That's hardcore.
For no reason. Like, they don't eat animals.
You ever see the video? It's like an old YouTube video, like OG YouTube. It was like a dude that fucking squared up with a kangaroo because it had his dog, dude, and he fucking punched the kangaroo in the face.
And it like sat there for a second, like it didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid video.
I also like I get this fucking guy who drives around like some city. And he has a fucking pet falcon. And he'll record it and be like, yo, they're the ops, dude. And then he releases this falcon out of the front seat of his car. And he'll like fuck up a pigeon, bring it back. He gets a treat and he like puts it in some bag. I don't know if you get like paid by the head for pigeons or what. Maybe he eats them. I don't know. But he has this fucking falcon, dude. And he sends it off for like birds and shit. It's dope. That or a crow. Like if I was ever like a bachelor, by the time I'm 50, I'll get a crow, and that'll be my pet. Because the crows are like mad smart.
You're gonna get a waifu body pillow too?
I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just have a fucking crow who collects quarters. There's this guy who trained like 20 crows, and he would give them a little fucking treat when they came back, but they would go and find him change, dude. And he made like hundreds of dollars a day just having these crows go around the city. Oh, I'm burning myself. I didn't notice an ember fell on my crotch until it hit my fucking underwear. But he gets like hundreds of fucking dollars a day, dude, to send these crows around the city he lives in.
That's riveting.
They probably steal it from fucking homeless people, dude. They'll go in the fucking bucket, which I think's fucked up. But I'm not a crow. I don't like how you fucking talk shit about my fucking crow videos, dude.
Who, me?
videos.
I got the Crow videos too, man. It's just that's like such a like 2000.
Rob said it was riveting, dude, very sarcastically, which is throwing me off my game completely.
Riveting, my lady.
I think the podcast is done.
Would you like to meet my pet crow Excalibur? My name is Cooper Gavin. Welcome to my man cave.
Like,
that's exactly what you sounded like.
The subject itself, like not your delivery of it, not like, oh, this is boring me, like listening to this.
Yeah, dude, I get it. We're moving on. The other thing I get a ton of is
like that is crazy that that's even a story to be told.
Yeah. I like the stolen valor videos too, to an extent.
Those,
then after a while,
but those I used to watch those all the time.
I just got one today where this guy was like, very clearly not like, dude, if the guy buys clothes from the Army Navy store and like clearly doesn't know what he's doing, especially if they're fucking fat, bro. Like, do we really need to fucking harass this guy? Even if he's getting 10% off at fucking Denny's for no reason, is it really worth your time? Like, they're probably autistic, a lot of them. That's where we'll start.
I saw a false accusation video today.
That might be why I sparked it too, but it's also like, well, the guy goes like, the guy kind of just got pissed off and he showed him his shit. And like, granted, I'm pretty sure he was off on disability or something, but like was still wearing his uniform, which is like, come on, guy, you're off.
I'm not gonna lie, like, unless you're like actively like coming from the base, like there's no reason to be wearing a uniform. I will not be convinced of any reason to be wearing a uniform.
Yeah. So I mean, I think a couple things when I see those videos, depending on the video, naturally. But like one of them is, I would say a good portion of the videos I've seen, like the person that is doing the stolen valor, like providing. This is a situation where they're not like consciously just abusing the system and like consciously lying about it. Is like they definitely have some kind of like mental illness, which
they're like I said, they're autistic almost 90% of the time. There's this guy who used to live in my neighborhood who would tell us that he used to be in the CIA and then fought in Vietnam, and the guy was like 45 years old. Like he very clearly didn't.
Yeah. But like, well, with these videos, it's more like it seems like not just like even like, you know, ASD in particular, but there's just some level of like they're not really fully aware of what they're doing. On the other hand, like the videos I see where the dudes are just like wearing the uniform and shit, like, and then like actively using it to like, I don't know, take advantage of the system, and they know what they're doing is wrong and they're doing it anyways. I have less sympathy for them, but at the same time, like, I don't think there's really, again, depending on the situation, a need necessarily to like, I don't know. I'd say the first explanation I gave, like that situation, definitely no reason to be yelling. On the other hand, depending on that in particular veterans' experiences, they might take it a bit more like seriously. And if they know that it's just like a guy that's doing it without any kind of remorse, then like, yeah, I don't know. I can see.
I would say you actually have. I think the only people who can yell at those people are combat veterans. That's my final decision. If you're not, if your tour was Hawaii, Fort Bragg, and like somewhere else, like, and you didn't even see a little bullet go over your head, bro. You basically were on work study, dude. You just worked for the government. It was less fun. You don't need to yell at an autistic guy.
Exactly.
And it's also like when you look at the guy, dude, like there was this one like video that the kid was in like the airport, but he had like a gray top, like camo, and then like the desert sand on the bottom. Like very clearly, dude, like this guy's not serving. Like he's in the airport, even if he boards early. Who cares? Like, you're going to make a scene in the airport?
Of boarding early, you can literally tell them that you have, like, a peanut allergy, and they'll let you on early. So it's not like it's a secret, like...
Who cares about boarding early, dude?
Exactly.
Who cares about that? It's the stupidest thing.
The other thing, too, that I forgot to say was, the other videos I've seen, too, is, like, if it's someone who's, like, homeless, that's, like, you know, has a sign that says they're a veteran and shit. Who
cares?
Exactly. So that's the third scenario where it's like the person depending, is conscious of what they're doing it and taking advantage of the system, but they're homeless, so it's like you give them a pass because it's like, dude, they have nothing. Like,
No, they all say
they're
God
gonna do
bless
what
you
they're
and
gonna
shit.
do.
Do you think they mean it? Probably not, dude. They're trying to sell you on giving them free change. They're
Yeah.
salesmen at heart. If this guy wants to fucking grift you, and you can tell he's not a fucking veteran, then don't give him change.
Right, and also,
The guy is living, unless the guy is leaving, pretending to be homeless, a homeless veteran, and then getting in an SUV and driving to his residential home. Like, maybe let it slide, bro. That's what you fought for. Is this
and
man to be going to the street?
Maybe let it slide.
I don't remember the statistic right off the top of my head, but there's a good amount of veterans that are homeless, you know? So like if you're the guy behind the camera, like how would you even be able to tell the difference at that point? And then you have like the fourth scenario, I would say, which is like I can't remember what year it was, but chick got caught, what do you call it? Like stealing like thousands upon thousands of dollars or in like VA benefits or like something or other, and she never served at all. Like that is like, bruh, like you're taking money away from the veterans that actually need it. So
that's like a scumbag move, dude. But if you're getting quarters on the street, like, guys, just leave them alone.
Totally different scenario.
Like, dude,
just like go about your business. Leave it.
Like, do you think realistically, bro? Like, that's the thing. Some people do it shamelessly. Like, aren't actually in the point where they need to like fucking do that. Like, there's the people. Like, I love seeing the fucking videos of like the ladies who fake it, and then they'll get in their car and leave. And it's like there's people who will like catch them. And there's this one guy who I watched in like some fucking hick city in like Michigan, who like everybody knows isn't disabled, but like he pretends he is. It's just like, don't give him change. You don't need a news segment about this guy who pretends to be disabled. Like, if he doesn't feel shame, that's his problem. At least he's not chopping people up. He's just fucking collect. If you're not in a major city, you're not seeing any new people, really. It's like
you've figured out who this guy is. You've caught the gag at this point. It's on you for complaining at this point.
Yeah, like, don't give him change. Like, it is what it is, dude. Let him pretend to be disabled, dude. Does it really bother you?
Yeah.
I just find it funny what people get upset about. Most of you don't give change to homeless people anyways. Let's not act like fucking heroes.
Dude, who has change on them nowadays?
Yeah, dude. I have like these like pennies that have oxidized, and I've always like thought about like just giving it to one of the people in Cambridge, but then I'm like, they'll probably take that as insulting. I'm giving them like oxidized, stuck together fucking pennies.
I'll tell you, like, I'm no saint, but like I've helped out a homeless guy or two in my time, but like I said, I'm no saint. It's not like I go around fucking doing a ton of shit. I probably could do more, but what I will say is working for the railroad, like, it desensitizes you like so much because you deal with it like all day, every day.
I bet.
And like just the people you interact with, and don't get this twisted. I'm not saying it's like homeless people are bad people, but like,
we had an episode last.
You end up with you deal with people that are trying to like scam you, or what do you call it? Like hide on the train cars and shit like that, or like people that unfortunately are like alcoholics and they're like passed out, or people that are trying to use drugs on the train, and like, so you kind of just get desensitized it because it's just so in your face all day. But doesn't mean you don't have like the sympathy, but you just like, you can't help everybody in the world, so you kind of develop that kind of attitude, like help out where you can, I guess, but like can't help everybody.
To be fair, that's better than what New Yorkers do, because New Yorkers murder people on trains.
Yeah, that was that was insane. We were talking about that stuff, and then that came out.
What happened?
Yeah, that wasn't a good look for the podcast.
Terrible.
What happened?
Some guy choked out like a busker because he was hungry and like having a
let's not pretend it wasn't, but at the end of the day, he just didn't deserve to die. And I think if people if people stop like the narrative that, like, you know what I mean? This narrative that, he was a good person, he was just sitting there. Like, no, he was a horrible human being, obviously, and clearly deranged, but still doesn't deserve to die. still doesn't deserve to die.
I
Oh,
didn't see the
talking about-
video. I only saw like the headline. I have not taken the time to read it or look into it. But you know,
What was the headline?
Well, some fucking
just like a former Marine choked out a guy that was violent on the train or some shit like that.
it was pretty
But,
much like
at
if
least
we killed
like,
that
if
guy.
you choke somebody out.
Cooper.
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see the video, and I'm not an expert. But if you choke somebody out properly, it should be like no problem. So I'm gonna venture to guess he probably was like choking the guy out for too long.
Yeah, he was choking him out. when he was, like,
Or the
15
guy
or
had some kind of pre-existing medical condition. But like that,
Oh, yeah.
being
Or the guy
on
is
it.
fucking
I see what
choking
you're
to death.
that at the very least, if it works out properly, it's a very like low risk, like low injury way of subduing somebody. So at least in the guy's whatever I can't remember the term right now. But at least he tried to go for that move rather than like fucking shooting the guy or something,
Well, I mean, he wasn't actively like trying to hurt, but I don't know. It was kind
Like I
of like
said, I didn't see the video.
I don't know.
situation
Hey,
Cooper would have been like. I'm talking. The situation would have essentially been like if you, Joey, and I killed that guy threatening us. Like that guy didn't deserve to die because he threatened us. You know what I mean? Like that's
What, the
kind
guy
of
with the knife?
yeah. Like
Yeah.
even though he was insane, he still didn't deserve to die. Like it's not our place to decide that. So, like he still.
I mean, it's definitely an unfortunate scenario anytime something like that happens.
Especially because no one else stepped in to stop
yes,
it.
No one
that you put
stopped
yourself
it either.
in not doing anything. So, I also think like none of us have kids yet and shit like that. So, as you get older, I didn't read the article, haven't seen the video, don't know the backstory of anybody, but just in general, like I feel like as you get older, like let's say you have kids or a family or some shit, your like tolerance for that kind of stuff is probably going to go way down because like the risk
It's
is
more
like,
no one stopped the guy, like, because unless, like you said, unless there was a pre-existing condition where he like went out easier than the guy expected. The fact that like no one stepped in at some point, like I get the guy choking him out to subdue him until like that's the thing with New
how long
York,
did you
dude.
have the guy in a chokehold for?
15
I mean, dude,
Or what? 15 minutes?
yeah.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course the guy's gonna
dude.
die. You fucking kidding me?
so why
Like,
did no one?
he's also
like, that's
didn't
the
get
thing with
charged
New
with
York.
anything.
You
He didn't
guys are
get charged.
fucking pigs. New York are pig people, dude. The fact that it honestly kind of appalled me too. The night that like I get not wanting to step in, but at some point, dude, like no one even being like, hey, like calm down to kind of like give us the fucking belief that other people like know what's happening. Like to completely like that's the scary thing about trains, dude. You're stuck in a fucking tunnel with these people. It's like if the guy got subdued,
Yeah,
dude,
as soon as the
everybody else
guy
should
is
have
out,
stepped in.
as soon
Who
as the
let
guy
him choke him out
is
for
out.
15
And the
minutes?
crazy
You let
part,
him
he got
go
no charges.
immediately.
He's like, there's been no charges put on the guy. Like that's murder. Like I don't know how you can say it's not murder. Like he murdered
Yep.
that person.
It's
Was the guy?
what is-
No,
what
I
is,
haven't
like- what
seen the
is, like,
video,
the
so unless the guy's
unintentional
fighting
murder?
back, all
Like,
No,
I
he's
said,
not.
it's-
He's literally there's like
I'm not
three.
saying it was unintentional,
One
but
guy, the video
at the
shows.
very least,
Yeah,
it
sorry.
should be like manslaughter or something.
Yeah,
Whatever
I
it's
mean, I don't
called.
think he meant to kill him, like in that sense. Like it wasn't but still, like
It's also one of those things
It's a
like once you
crime.
involve yourself like that, and unless it's like again, unless it's pure self defense, because like it goes beyond like it was just self defense. Once like you kill the guy because you had him in a chokehold for 15 minutes, like as soon as the dude's unconscious, you let him go immediately. Like so, the fact that apparently this guy had him in a chokehold for 15 fucking minutes,
it's also like
he's either like he has that like liability or that risk on him because he involved himself and he clearly like for lack of a better term, like he didn't perform to the standard of like care, like you did that wrong. Like anybody that would ask you or like knows anything about the human body is you can't cut off oxygen to the brain for 15 minutes and
Yeah.
expect a person to live.
it's
Like,
also New York City. Like not to say it's okay.
so he's either
always-
dumb and didn't know what he was doing and just tried something, or like if he did know what he was doing, like, and
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I have a sneaky feeling the guy who killed him wasn't from New York City. Because, like, not to say I'm a native New Yorker, but like like Cooper, like living in Boston, it's like you kind of just see that sometimes, right? And you kind of like ignore it. I doubt that guy who was going crazy on the train was the first time people on that train saw a guy acting insane on a train. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like you should just constantly have to deal with that, but I feel like most people aren't like the solution isn't let's kill this guy. Like
Yeah, you should definitely try
Like,
to
ignore it. Like, how many-
diffuse or
every day
like,
there's-
get away from it at all
every
costs.
day there's something like that in New York City. I guarantee it.
Mhm.
Like people
Sounds
know
like
how to
New
deal
York.
with that. But you know what?
That city's a disgusting hellscape.
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, without going too fucking deep, you can all, and again, like I said, I don't know who these people are in the video, but you can make the argument that, like, depending on, what you've seen in your time, again, desensitizes you to
Yeah, that's what I'm
certain
saying. New
level of
Yorkers are
violence,
desensitized
for
to
example.
that
So,
shit.
like, you could have someone that, like, seeing someone get punched in the face is like would freak them out, right? Or they see a little bit of blood would freak them out. Versus, like, to your point of like a New Yorker, quote unquote, right? Like, them being crazy or whatever, like they're that level of violence, like that dude probably like might not have thought twice about it. And I'm not saying that as like a justification, but I'm saying like that, depending on that level of like how desensitized they are. If this guy was a Marine, and I don't want to like even make that connection, so that's not what I'm trying to say either. Like, oh, because he was a Marine, obviously
He's
he's
used to choking unarmed people.
like I don't even know who he was or what his MOS was or anything like that. But
Again,
it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just like, dude, you choked the guy out for 15 minutes. Like, you should know. Like, common sense tells you.
No one stepping in is the most No one stepping in is the most appalling part. How does no one stop?
What's that quote about good men doing nothing? Be a perfect. It'd be a perfect time for slap that quote in there.
I wish I knew what you were talking about, Rob.
I put too much of the fucking.
We're gonna do a quick Google search.
I put too much of the fucking smell stuff on my laundry, and now I smell like a fucking.
The only thing necessary for evil to triumph in the world is that good men do nothing. Who said that? Edmund Burke.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yes, Edmund Burke, of course.
Edmund Burke.
Edmund Twerk. Edmund Perk.
Edmund Burke. He was born in Dublin.
Former British paymaster.
He was an
of the
Anglo-Irish statesman, economist, and philosopher who served as a member of Parliament between 1766 and 1794 in the House of Commons of Great Britain with the Whig Party.
So he was
He was twerking for his masters. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, he was trying to get America destroyed in its nest. He was
he's
shameful.
reflections on the revolution.
Anyway,
in France. Oh, okay, damn it, that's a dumb revolution.
Stupid French.
What was that?
Did you see? You heard me. Did you? Did you guys see on the road today? They had the fucking. Oh well, I guess I'm the only one who drives. But they had so many fucking Star Wars quotes today, dude. I wanted to veer off the road into a tree. This morning, I noticed the first one, and it was like, "Believe in the Force, wear your seatbelt," or something like that. And but like, it didn't hit me today. It was May 4th. Like, I don't really care about dates. So
if I had like an hour commute into Boston, dude, and I saw that sign, I would immediately throw up all over the dash. It would just be too much.
The first one didn't hit me. That was the thing.
Between traffic and the cringe.
The second one
fucking explode.
The second one was only like Jawas litter, keep mass clean, and then it hit me. I'm like, oh, it's fucking I'm like, it's May 4th. I'm like, these people are like, oh my god. And there was like 4 or 5 of them, and none of them got any better. And I'm like, oh my, like, who does everybody really care that much about Star Wars? To be honest with you, dude,
I don't.
Every once in a while, when I do read the seatbelt thing, I'll put my fucking seatbelt on. Every once in a while.
It's actually
then-
insane that you just don't have it on to begin with, quite frankly.
It's like one of the few
You're in the
things you
minority
got.
here.
Yeah, I wear my
You're in the
seatbelt.
minority here, though, Coop. Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm not gonna try to change your mind, but don't speak to us like it's just like, oh, like, no, you're a weirdo for not wearing your seatbelt to begin with.
Because my uncle lived one time because he didn't wear his seatbelt because the fucking steering wheel went through the seat basically. So if he wasn't wearing his seatbelt and got out of the seat, also, dude,
I feel like
I kinda-
statistically, that's definitely like a super rare occurrence where like the seatbelt would have killed you versus saved your
the
life. I feel
seatbelts
like
aren't
probably
much safer. I hate to break it to you guys.
Why? Why aren't they safer? They are.
Occurrence.
No, if
People
you
are
look
dying
at
left and right all the time.
well, yeah, dude. The thing is with a car crash, bro, is it's like the seatbelt isn't much better because if you're going fucking 80 miles an hour, yeah, you stay in the car, but that like doesn't magically like you're not coming out unscathed. If you have a major accident, it's
Yeah, of course.
50-50. It's 50-50 regardless. I hate
Yeah.
to
Like
break
wearing
it
a
to you.
helmet.
If the
If you-
accident is bad enough, it's 50-50 regardless. So it's like a part of me is just like that's like one of the only things you got, dude. Like I don't ride a motorcycle. I drive an SUV. And I try to be safe enough where I wouldn't go through the fucking windshield. I hate to break it to you, dude. And I've said it before, and this might sound fucked up, but I genuinely don't think I have the mental strength to be a fucking paraplegic anyway. I hate to break it to you. Like, I really don't. Paraplegics, if someone in like a car accident, I admire those people 100% because I just do not think half the enjoyable stuff to me personally about my life is that I can walk around. It's half the fucking reason. I'm not trying to sound insensitive. I'm being honest. I don't want to fucking roll around my whole life. I really don't. I've seen enough of the world. I'd rather be it. That's me personally. I just don't think because I don't think I'd ever be able to fucking grasp it, dude. It's not even that I'd like look at other people and be like, oh, they have their legs. Like, you know what I mean? I get that mindset. But I would be like, I know what my life would be like after. It doesn't sound fun.
It doesn't sound fun, but not to take away from your point, but I was reading something a while ago. Humans like actually quickly kind of get used to like things like that.
I wouldn't, dude. I know
you don't know that. Like I'm saying, like everybody thinks
I don't.
that, and I agree.
I know.
Let me finish. I'm just saying that like realistically, like you would.
If
Like,
I can,
you
well,
would.
Another
if I
thing,
can
dude.
chime in here real quick,
Yeah,
because I do agree with Cooper because I have
But
felt
this is what you think. We all
similar.
think this way. We all think this way, though.
But
This
I
isn't
think
a unique
I think
thought.
the reason is because, and I'm just gonna speak generally here, but I think the reason is because like men, or whether you want to call it like our kind of old school type upbringing to some extent, you know, it places a high level of value on self-reliance. And when you take away a person's ability to rely on themselves, even if it's not fully, it's just like a percentage, like, you know, then you're essentially, when it comes down to it, you're defenseless or you're helpless, like to defend yourself or like to ensure your survival at the very base level of like humanity. So I think that's why, you know, for example, like I kind of share that point of view because,
But I think we all do, though.
well, I know. Well, that's
My
why I'm
point is
saying,
that, like, shockingly, it's like
men
I'm not saying
general
like in the
feel
thing. I'm
that
saying
way, so
shocking.
that's why
Like
it's
shockingly, humans get used to it. Like not that,
Yeah.
like, oh, like it's more like we as humans like naturally get used to these things.
sure.
Like,
And it's
you
also,
don't
I
think
think,
it. You don't think it. Like none
I
of
think
us are like,
that's
yeah,
also
I would love
probably
having
a
no arm.
very,
But it just you kind of naturally start to quickly adjust like your new way of life.
I'll put it on the record here
yeah,
too.
I mean, I think
If I
that's
ever
pretty
end up in a
recent, though. It's a recent
ever-
development.
if I ever end up in a coma, I want it on the record before I forget. Like, I do not want to be kept alive on a fucking thing. I want it on the record so that way everyone knows. That also does not seem fun.
What if it's like a coma for a routine surgery? Do you want me to kill you?
No, not like that. But I'm saying like car crash, coma. No idea if I'm going to come out of it. Like, I'm not hooked up for months, dude. I want like 2 days and then that's it.
2 days.
And then it's up to
2
fate.
days.
Yep.
That's
2
a lot
days.
of time that they can do stuff.
Not if I'm in a fucking if like post surgery, that's different. But like you're in a car crash, you're a coma, you don't know if you're coming out of it. Maybe a week, maybe 7 days.
I would probably
longer
not
than
want to stay in a coma for, I don't know what the number would be, like how long, but I would definitely want to be put on ice and be like, yo, if you guys ever develop some medical technology down the line,
That's
and
just
like,
dumb.
if you could
Okay,
come
Walt
back with like
Disney.
your full consciousness, like nothing lost, like just wake up again, and it's like,
Where are they
100
gonna
years
keep
in
you,
the
pal?
future. On ice, bruh.
On ice, what at the fish market, dude? Like, where the fuck do you keep me on ice?
In a bunker, fucking.
Do they have these?
Yeah, Walt Disney, bro.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I would venture
Ted
to guess
Williams,
they
bro.
do.
You don't know about Ted Williams?
Or something
Yeah.
could be repurposed.
I'm sorry. Icons of their generation got themselves frozen.
Big Buck's good.
Like fucking Futurama, dog. Just like come back, be like, what up? This is dope.
I feel like I wouldn't want to come back. I'd be like, hey, I missed too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be immortal necessarily, but I definitely would come back just to take a quick peek.
Take a quick peek. No,
I
it's
just really hope-
Futurama.
I just
It's called
hope-
Futurama.
I just like hope in heaven you can like watch what's going on. Like, I hope it becomes like the Truman Show once you get up there and you can like check in on. Like, dude, I'm sure like if heaven's real, bro, someone's up there checking in on the Ukraine right now. Like, oh, like I'm curious what the score is, dude.
Oh my god. There
That
was
sounds
I just saw,
actually
like
awful,
a crazy video that came out today. It was
Oh, I saw
nuts.
Did you see the fucking Google Earth? Like the difference in like a few months.
No, I saw
Oh, it was like a thriving city, and then it's like it literally looks like Hiroshima at this point.
Wait, what?
dude.
From what?
From what?
What, Ukraine, or is this a made up video?
No, it's the Ukraine.
Oh, okay. What city was it? Mariupol?
I didn't see the city. I looked at. I looked.
I'm
at
not
the
gonna
video.
lie. This is gonna sound awful, and this is just we've been
Probably gonna. So
we haven't had a bad Ukraine take in a while, so I think we're due. I forgot about that war, quite frankly.
It's so-
my god.
it's
Like,
so
not
hard
that
to
I fully
keep up.
forgot, but I just like I kind of like, and there was a period where I was constantly like, what's going on, and then it slowly kind of was like, all right, there's a war going on, but I'm like not keeping tabs.
You
Now,
know why
like,
though, dude?
I only
it
am
slowed
reminded
down.
of the war when I see something of it. And now it's not even warfare stuff. It's usually just like Zelensky twerking in his fucking New Balances, or like a video of like a Ukrainian like getting their flag ripped apart, and then them like the Russians like fighting each other. Like in the street.
I get you on TikTok. I'll get Ukrainian drone footage, and they'll like show drone footage of them like drop like with thermal scopes like drop like so you can't. So I think it gets around like the blood thing on TikTok,
Yeah.
and they just like drop mortars on little fucking Russian foxholes and shit, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? But it's also the mud season. That's why like there's not a lot going on right now. They can't move around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still get a good amount of it because I follow like a lot of the like military reporting pages that are like just like dudes that are in the military and shit right now that like look up and find that shit. I don't know how, but there's it's the shit's just kind of brutal, honestly. Like there was a grocery store like today or like I don't know recently that fucking got bombed by the Russians, I guess. So
I saw a video of like the bomb blowing up on top of the
Sucks.
Kremlin or something like
I
that.
did see that. I didn't know if it was real or not.
I feel like that was a false flag or fake.
Yeah, I think so too. I genuinely think that realistically people just got to buckle up for this being like Europe's Afghanistan for a bit.
yeah, also with the CGI stuff, that's like or not.
Oh, it's so hard to tell sometimes now.
The, like
so
AI like voices and shit like that. Like if they pair that with CGI, it's like which it would not shock me to if they were currently working on that shit or already can do it really well. But that shit would just be crazy. Like imagine like fucking like Putin getting sick, right? Or like there's been it could just be propaganda, but there's like some articles I remember coming out like on whether Putin was sick or something like that. Imagine if Putin like did get sick, bro, and died, and they just like fucking CGI'd and like AI'd his voice like to make people
well,
think that he was
they
still
could fake
alive.
it for a bit, bro, but they'd find out.
Yeah, no,
That
eventually 100%, but that would be nuts. Not outside the realm of possibility in the next 10
Well,
years.
I mean, dude, I watched this especially in situations where you have like a microphone in front of your face. it's like so easy to fake it. Like I watched a fake interview of Tyler Creator calling like Paris disgusting and like pigs and shit like that. And like you caught it at one point because like you could clearly tell the mouth wasn't moving because they used like the actual footage, but he had the microphone in front of his mouth for so much of the time that it was kind of. I was like, damn. Like I thought Tyler the Creator actually first off liked Paris, but then I was like, this is kind of a little bit nuts. Because they also would like pan to the audience, and it was clearly when he was like in the middle of like an actual answer, and it was like they were sitting there silently.
I think that
And
was,
I was
an
like-
edit. I don't know if that like I saw that.
That's what I'm saying. It's an edit, but like
Oh,
You guys
in
see the-
situations where you
I
have
thought you were saying it
microphones
was
in front of the
AI.
face, it's very easy to fake.
Somebody did a Tom Brady stand-up AI an hour.
Yeah. Oh, do you like Dudesy podcast?
I think it was that, right?
Yeah.
I don't watch
They
it.
did
but I
Tom
saw it.
Brady doing stand-up comedy for an
Yeah,
hour.
I got like
Yeah.
a lot of shit. Like Tom Brady freaked out.
It's dude, my brain sometimes when I doom scroll with like the AI stuff gets so rotted that I'll like hear like text to voice, which is a very normal thing that's existed forever, right? And I'll be like, oh my god, is this real or fake? What is this? And then I'm like, wait a second, that's been around since like 2010. Calm down.
Our shit's
Dude,
gonna
that's
just
like when I talk about or like when we talk about just like I don't know shit that's going on in the world, and it's like always makes me think of like Mr. Robot combined with like Westworld. Like when you think about like for example Amazon, and then Mr. Robot is like the digital currency and also like a major kind of like evil conglomerate. And it's just like fucking crazy because I always bring those two movies up, but like when you start, you
those
know,
are TV shows.
I guess the point I was driving at initially was I gotta like unplug sometimes from like the news, dude, just because like fucking that shit just like starts getting to me and it's distracting.
I just don't listen to it.
The old
Yeah, I'm
boob.
kind of
I don't watch any kind of like news channel. It's just like really like the feed, you know, the feed, bruh.
The feed.
Same thing with like COVID, dude. Like fucking
Well,
when
COVID's
COVID
over, dude.
first starting,
It's
dude,
done.
I was like following that shit fucking heavy. Like, and then what was the other thing? Like when the Ukraine started, I guess that was the other thing. Just like super heavy on that. But then your boy needs a break.
When the world ends, honestly, I'm at the point where like if the world ends, like just I'd rather be shocked and surprised by it. I don't want to see it
Oh,
come.
100%, dude. That's like half the reason I've stopped looking at the Ukraine thing, because I'm like, if Papa Putin launches the nukes, I'd rather just get fucking schmelted and not fucking deal with it.
Papa Schmootin.
Just Papa
I don't know.
Putin.
Papa's nuking.
I don't like. I prefer the devil we know than the devil we don't. I think I would want to see it coming.
I wouldn't. I'd be horrified.
Fuck it, bro. What are you gonna do to stop it? Nothing. Nothing.
Go to Ukraine.
Are you talking about just in general? Or are you talking about nukes?
Nukes, dude. You
Nukes.
don't need, you don't
Yeah,
need those
then
to
of
come in.
course there's nothing you can do about it.
So
but
that's my point.
I have always said though, when we used to do the nuke training for work back in the day, it's like I'm not getting on a fucking bus, bro. I'm hopping in my car and you know, not gonna go on the whole highway thing, but like I'm not dying on a bus, bro. That ain't happening.
Well, you're not getting out regardless, bro. I feel like I hate to break it to you. Like every road will be backed up because you gotta think, bro. Like, yeah, people will go on the highways and panic, but like enough people like have watched Walking Dead before, bro, where they're gonna be like, oh, like let's go to the back roads.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like nuclear war in that scenario. I'm saying like that doesn't apply. Yeah, you're not gonna outrun that. But I was given the example of when we used to do those nuclear trainings. That's why I always said that. It's like you're not gonna get anywhere on the highway, bro. Like look at Cape traffic.
Yeah. Have you
Like
seen
rush
Cape
hour
traffic? Try nuke traffic.
Yeah, bro. You ain't going nowhere, dude. And then it's like, where are you
Cool.
going? Like, well, I'm pretty sure Taunton was like one of the towns that was just outside like the zoning, like the safe zone or whatever that they marked up on the map. So it's like, yeah, like where is everybody like south? What would that be? Southeast of Taunton. Where are you all going?
Nukes aren't good. Nukes certainly aren't good, but one thing I've learned is that they're like a lot smaller than I like originally thought they were.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
Like I used to think
It's just
nukes
the
literally like
it's the fallout.
like yeah. But even then, like you kind of can like be okay. Like it's not Chernobyl, like kind of like.
Well, it depends on what kind of nuke.
kinda,
Yeah, of course,
You
but like
have-
a
You
nuke.
have missiles with like nuclear warheads that will just have like a nuclear explosion in a very small radius, and then you
I
have
like, remember
nukes.
growing up thinking that like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, like it was like fucking like 40 square miles to that were like
Well,
level.
those are different than like the H bomb.
But like when if there's like a nuclear exchange, it's not gonna be like fucking the Tsar bomba going off everywhere.
if they hit Boston, Aaron, like you'd be done in Dorchester.
Not even the blast. Like if they hit downtown.
Not the
Boston,
blast, but the fallout would be.
but you could escape that. Like the fallout isn't like fucking.
Yeah, if you react right away, bro, you're close enough. You're only like 5 miles away from downtown.
Yeah, but that's
You're
my point. That's my original point. Is that like. It's my main point is that nukes. I wasn't saying you'd survive, and like I was just saying that they're not like
Probably a cancer, minimum.
But you could have you could maybe fucking do a few things before you're good. You're gone.
Yeah, 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, I always want to do more. That's kind of my thing. I'm always down to do more.
Facts. Anyway, Pro Cup, what are we looking at for time?
Let me check. We're doing just hit an hour. We can keep it quick, or we can close. I guess we can close up, or unless we want to go long.
Big Buck, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Maybe if you give me a minute, but not off the top of my head.
What? One thing I did think about today, because I was watching some 90 Day Fiancé clips
Jesus.
when I was working. Those people, people are always like, oh, they're just after the green card. And my thing is like, you kind of got to respect the hustle. Like, if you're going to come from fucking wherever you're from and shack up with a fucking hick from Indiana for like a year and a half, like, almost like, I kind of respect the grind, bro. You get a job, do your shit, but like, you deserve a green card. That's a good effort.
It's a good effort. That's
Because you gotta put mad time into it online, bro. Like, you're chatting for a while, bro, and like,
That means you got a work ethic, and we can get you a job.
yeah, dude, they're selling themselves to sad, lonely people from Middle America who are looking to be quote unquote exotic, dude. They want to be able to go to their local ethnic restaurant and be like, look at how open minded I am. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a mutually beneficial relationship. At the end of the day, an American breaks their heart, or like at worst, you have a few kids, a loveless marriage, but that guy gets to live in, a guy or gal gets to live in America now. No one's got to respect the hustle, dude.
Always got to respect it.
Maybe don't let them vote right away and shit or buy guns, but like, let them bull around for a bit.
Bull around.
You know what I mean? I respect the fuck out of it.
Gang.
Pro Cup, do you have any band stuff coming up?
No. And stuff I can't even announce till like a certain time, actually. So some stuff coming up later in the summer, but
recorded stuff? Is that potential?
No, I don't know about that yet either. I guess that might be a good step to take. That's an idea. Maybe you get that done this summer. Who knows?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But can't announce stuff yet. That's exciting. If you're still listening at this point, you're the fucking man. Definitely we're starting Patreon and Twitch again, so get ready, dude. It's gonna be great. Big Buck and golf content too. We're hitting the links for the first time.
I was gear shopping. I was finding some lapel mics we could use.
Beautiful.
We got some upgrades.
Beautiful. The thing is like we always talked about shit in the past, and then the last year we kind of followed through, and then we taken a little hiatus, but we've been planning. Stuff is gonna be coming, dude. If you're still listening at this point, we appreciate you always listening because you are a loyal one. Big Buck, you're one of the fucking real ones because you always listen. We appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for listening. It's great. Bye.
Yeah.
What an episode, dude.
What an episode.